Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to HR Week 2021. And today is all about C level. It's all devoted to the conversations, the links between HR naturally and the C level, bringing those conversations together and navigating a way forward, which works certainly for both parties and giving insight on how we can all move forward together. And I'm intrigued as much as you are really to hear our next session in the same vibe, in the same style we've been going throughout the day as well. So if you've enjoyed what we've heard already, you're going to enjoy the rest of this afternoon on our last day, unfortunately, of HR Week 2021. So organizational transformation and culture. What came first, the chicken or the egg? That's the title of this session now, and the person that's going to tell us more to kind of let us know perhaps what came first, the chicken or the egg, is HR Director of MPC Properties, Marina Matic. Marina?
Hi everyone.
Hello, Marina. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Where are you right now, Marina? Let us
I'm
know.
right now on vacation, but I'm
Oh,
here with you.
all right. Okay. So I'm reading between the lines. You're not going to let us know where you are, where your location is, but hey, you're spending the time with us, and we're very grateful that you're taking a little bit of time out of your holiday time, which is so precious, to be with us right now. I'm going to let you go now, and towards the end, I'll come back in. And if there are any questions from our listeners, our audience, I'll ask those directly to you. But in the meantime, Marina, it's over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this introduction. And it's not a big deal that I'm on vacation, I will still try to explain why. Because I'm someone who is really passionate about my profession, and it's my real pleasure to be with all of you today. And I'm really glad to be here next 25 minutes, sharing some insights based on my experience in my career regarding this topic, which I assume is very interesting: organizational transformation and organizational culture change. And thank you to my dear Nevena for this provocative intro and title, What is older, chicken or egg? I'm not sure that I can answer this, but I'm sure that I will come with some other answers that maybe audience would like to hear. So, brief introduction from my side about myself. I'm a person who is very committed to my private things, private life. I'm happy with my family, friends, and cat. And in the same time, a person who is very passionate about my job, about my profession. I really enjoy being almost 10 years on different executive HR positions. And by chance, somehow it happened that I all the time being a part of companies when companies are deciding to be transformed, organizationally transformed. This is great for me because today my case study actually will not be based on any kind of theory, and I will try to make some conclusions for all of you based on all these cases that I went through whole career. So I'm psychologist, I'm a CIPD certified person and coach, started career in NGO department in Serbia, and then joined the business to company Nelt. There I spent 13 years being part of sister company as well as an HR manager, following the company from the early beginning, from startup stage to the stage that this retail company had almost 150 stores in its chain. Then I was offered by my mother company Nelt to lead the HR function, and then to organizationally transform Nelt and its companies. I think at this time 13 legal entities on 9 different markets in Western Balkan and Sub-Saharan Africa. In the parallel, I had a task to transform HR from transactional one into modern HR business partnering HR approach. After 4 years on executive position in Nelt, I joined Hemofarm, member of Stada Group. It was the time when funds bought Stada, and this was very interesting time, I would say. And we did a lot in terms of organizational transformation, and regarding the culture change in the company. Very soon, I became responsible for 16 markets in Central Eastern Europe in Stada, establishing HR from the scratch in some of these countries. Um, from the middle first wave of Corona, I decided to join company MPC Properties. My company is a leader in real estate industry in Serbia, and I'm really proud to be part of it. Actually, I joined the company because I saw real and intrinsic motivation of shareholder to change things in the company, to make organizational transformation, and to make a different approach to the business. So this is about my career. Now I'm going to jump into the topic, and it is strongly linked to this last thing that I said. Actually, my motivation to join last company was clear willingness in the company to make changes, and this is really important. When you are enthusiastic person and professional in this field, you really need to have this strong link between shareholder, CEO, and all other functions, including especially HR. If you see this willingness for change to be done, then you are on a good way. So without that, we cannot do anything. As a HR function, we can just dreaming the dream about something, but I can say that this is the most important thing: willingness from the top. So talking about the topic, which is organizational transformation, I will try now to make something which is maybe not so usual, but I don't know. I will try with something which could be a good explanation. So let me try to put organizational transformation in one kind of equation. So from my point of view, organizational transformation is equal to, first of all, vision, multiply structure, multiply courage, and multiply emotional intelligence. So as you could hear, between all four elements that I mentioned is sign multiply. As one of my very good friends and one strong HR expert would like to say, if anything here is zero, sorry guys, I'm afraid that result will be zero. So this is about the organizational transformation. Very important to say that really, if you don't have intrinsic vision, if you don't have a structure for transformation, if you don't have courage, and if you don't have within your organization enough pool of people with strong emotional intelligence, I'm afraid that result of this reorganization and transformation will be quite low. So let's go step by step. Let's talk about each element that I mentioned. So starting from the vision, personally, I think that person who is driving the change, CEO or shareholder or whoever, must to have intrinsic vision. This vision shouldn't be maybe at the early beginning verbalized or visualized, but intrinsically it must to be present. So let me give an example. In one moment when we decided in NELT to reorganize the company into NELT Group as a company, like it's not a formally holding, but like a headquarter, um, actually that started with strong vision, and it was at the beginning like we can do more, we should do more. And for me as let's say then younger professional, it was a little bit frustrating because it was not clear enough. But today I understand that actually for the clear vision, you need a time, you need a moment, you need a thinking, and it's not so simple. So fortunately, we came in at this time in NELT, we came with a clear vision. We actually had a vision to achieve half billion euros turnover in at least one new market, and that was good because that was really clear enough for all of us. So about the vision, just one thing: if you need the support, if you are driving this process of organizational transformation, it's smart from time to time to take some external support for that, having some partner who is helping you to verbalize it or visualize it, because it's important for the communication to whole organization through the transformational process. So that's about vision. Let's go to the structure. What does it mean from my point of view structure? It means that you should know the roadmap of transformation. You cannot just go around and saying, and we are doing that, and maybe tomorrow we are doing that and doing that. No, you need to have a structure. You need to have a clear plan. You need to have risk analysis. Um, it would be great if you have all financial analysis which are showing what will happen after the reorganization and transformation. And at the end, in a structure, I think about communication plan, about whole reorganization and transformation. Uh, I know that from time to time, I'm really giving hard time to my colleagues from the business, insisting on that communication plan and insisting on their presence through whole communication flow about transformation. But let's be honest, if you want to make this transformation well, that who else could do that? The leader who is driving transformation must to do that, must communicate all these things which are important for people, because in any transformation people are feeling insecure and there is a lot of unknown things for them. So I had a few questions a few months ago from some people about transformation. Does it mean some cost saving or what? And the answer is it could be both. It could be cost saving if this is the business goal. But on the other side, I was happy to be part of some transformations where we decided, for example, to grow our business. And then it's normally that you need to grow your organization, to invest in people, to invest in tools, which is great. But yes, it's possible to be on both sides with the target to have savings and with target to going into growth direction. It's all about the structure. Let's go on courage as a third element. Well, courage. Courage is important from my point of view because of two things. One thing, that during the transformation of any organization, person who is driving the change, driving the transformation, must have a courage to do different things, to make some hard decisions. And let's be fair, there is no organizational transformation without some changes in personal solutions. And this is part where leader of the transformation must to have a courage to do that. On the other hand, the courage should be present because of some decisions which are not in this way hard, but sometimes in transformational period of the company, you need to make some decisions which are based on not so full scope of data, with some missing elements. And sometimes it is really, really hard to make some decision like this. My personal example for this was when we decided to transform Neld Group. Including that, I had a task to transform HR function, and we decided actually to go with the new software. To be honest, it was like playing a game a bit, because if you ask me, I honestly was not fully aware of all aspects of that. But I had a vision that we needed software, and then we decided to do that based of some scope of data that was available at this time. And I really think that it was a great decision. But yes, from time to time in my and career of my colleagues who are CEOs or shareholders and who are making some decision, yes, we have some decisions which are not so with a happy end. So this is second part of the courage, why the courage is important in transformation and transitional time. Okay, fourth element, emotional intelligence. It's a buzzword, and I know, and I'm not going to talk about this, what is emotional intelligence and so on. Only one thing that I would like to share, that this is not only a buzzword. This is really, really strongly important for transformations in any organization. I like to share my examples. So let me share once more one of my examples. When I transformed HR function in my first company, it was when I was less experienced professional. And of course, I had many lessons learned. One of them was that I was not listening very well my team. Actually, I had attention on one part of my team, but second part of my team was not under my full attention. And this is huge lesson learned because I lost two great people at this time. And I learned that if you want to change things, you cannot do it by yourself. You can do it only with your team, which should be strongly linked. So coming to the beginning of quotation, that organizational transformation is equal to vision, multiply structure, multiply courage, multiply emotional intelligence. Let's see what of these four elements is possible to be delegated to someone else. Let's be fair, this is only structure. And yes, many companies has this type of transformational teams or chief transformation officer or something like. But this is only part from my perspective that could be delegated to someone else. Everything else must be within the personality of the leader who is driving the change. So this is for the time being about the transformation. Let's jump in briefly in organizational culture change. If you want to change the culture, at the beginning it sounds very nice because we are defining values, we are talking about new behaviors, and somehow it's a honeymoon period of this process. Let's be fair, when you really start to change things in behaviors, when you start to invite people strongly to change their behaviors, habits, beliefs, then we are coming to the harder period of the story. So the message is that it is not just an fancy fluffy HR process. This is serious management process which should be led by, again, CEO, top management and whole management, involving all employees and being supported by credible HR function within the company. Luckily, today we really have a lot of companies who are offering us different approaches to this, different tools, and that's great. But this is again something which is coming to the structure part. So if we put organizational culture in quotation, it would be strong CEO attitude, multiply strong management attitude and commitment to values, multiply credible HR, multiply structure, of course, with the process and tools. But again, structure is something that could be delegated to someone else. Everything else, all other elements must be within the company, within the management of the company, and within the HR function which is supporting all this change. So we came to this answer again, to this question again, what is older, chicken or egg, transformation or organizational culture change? It's really hard to answer because I had different stories. For example, in one of companies, we had a story that we started organizational culture change process, and then it provoked some strategic decisions and decision for organizational transformation. For example, in my actual company, MPC Properties, we had a clear plan from the early beginning that it will be organizational transformation with many aspects, including, of course, organizational culture change. So it could be both. Organizational culture could come first, could come after this, or in a parallel. Actually, this is the part of the transformation. This is simplest answer to this question. And if we come back, one step come back, mentioning again that in transformation and culture, we can delegate only structure and that all other elements must be present within the personality of the person who is driving the change, within the management of the company, and so on. Actually, I would be free to answer on one other question in comparing with my initial question. I would like to answer what is oldest. And actually, oldest is leadership, which is driving the change, persuading people by facts, but at the end, inspiring them by pure emotions. That's all from my side for the time being, and now all time is yours.
Hello, I'm back. Fantastic. Really good to hear your insights there, Marina. I think we actually have a question. I'm looking at the side. There we are. Organizational transformation is rigid organizations. Is it possible and how?
Thank you for a very interesting question.
Hmm.
Actually, yes, it is possible. What the question is, what does it mean, a rigid organization? If we are talking about organization with strong systems and so on, it is possible. But if we are talking about the organization, then on top level is someone who has this rigid point of view, then it is possible, but it is very hard. And I don't have better answer, but I really believe that it's possible from my past experience. Sometimes we are personally rigid. Sometimes I was that, but the change and transformation is generally possible.
How did
If
you?
you
I'm just intrigued to know. So, how did you say in the past you were rigid, things were tougher? How did you get through that? How did you? What did you do, or what inspired you to kind of to
yeah,
make that change? Just generally.
I think you know the answer. So personal transformation is everything. So it's a base for any other transformation. That's the answer.
Okay, just looking in the chat now, there don't seem to be any more questions. I believe I can just hear somebody telling me there's a question coming through right now. Here it comes. Hopefully, it will come up. Let's see. It's coming. It's not coming.
It's
It's
coming.
coming.
It's not coming.
Okay, I don't think it's going to come through actually, but that's okay. We've come towards the last part of this session now, but listen, we've heard from what you had to say. Are we closer to getting to the answer? What came first? Maybe we kind of more insights that you've given us. We're not looking for a rigid answer whether it's yes or no, but it kind of gives us thought and more of getting closer to that outcome that we want to get as well. So listen, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for spending your time on holiday. I'm going to ask you, where are you right now on holiday? Are you going
No
to tell us?
way. No way.
I think,
I'm enjoying.
Marina, I think, you know what I think? I think you're at home and you're just enjoying the time for yourself. Maybe I'm right. I am right. Yeah. That we don't need to be abroad. You can stay at home and just have and that's often the thing we need, our time and the small things that mean things for us. Marina, thank you so much for your time. And hopefully, and again, somebody who's part of our HR community, we hope to be hearing you in the future again, perhaps at one of our
Thank you
events.
very much. It was
Thank
my
you so much.
pleasure.
Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
So there we are. Marina, not anywhere, probably at home, but enjoying her time as you've been enjoying your time. I'm sure this week and today as well. And I know a lot of people giving. We've heard lots of comments and feedback throughout the week coming in. Lots of conversations with members of the team as well. Really hearing all positive, good feedback from what we're doing this week, and we continue that right now with our sea level a day this afternoon. Right, we move on to our next session, which will be in a couple of minutes' time. But just to give you a heads up in terms of what we've got going right now, IBM's culture transformation, focusing on inclusion and diversity. Intriguing, two words which are not just buzzwords, but they are words we are focusing on more and more in all our organizations across the board. We're going to be hearing very shortly all about that in about 3 minutes' time. So join us for Sea Level Day in about 3 minutes' time here at HR Week 2021.